Alright, what's going on guys? Welcome back to another video. Now it has been a while since I've done a whiteboard video. You OG subscribers maybe might remember it from maybe, I think it was a year ago. But I wanted to do one today pretty much explaining my full rest day routine. Now I wanted to do this because obviously in this series, trying to deal with knee pain has been one of the biggest challenges. Pretty much, you know, every dunk session I'll have some sort of knee pain, and what I've really tried to sort of overcome is ways to get around that, and that is where this recovery comes in, because as you can see, there's so many different things that you need to do in order to sort of keep your body healthy and just maximize your overall results. So I wanted to do this video today. If it's a little bit confusing to you, don't worry, we'll go through it bit by bit, break it down, pretty much explain what all of these means and how they sort of relate to staying healthy and increasing your vertical jump. So let's get into it. Pretty much the first thing I would recommend is stretching / foam rolling. Now that's a pretty basic one. If you guys aren't doing it already, I would definitely recommend that. Most of you probably are already, I assume. But pretty much what this does, it just loosens your muscles, so your muscles are allowed to stay loose. They won't get tight, and if they get too tight, then what can happen is they can actually put more stress on your joints. So a common result of this is jumper's knee. So for example, if you aren't foam rolling your quads, or your quads just get super tight over time, what can happen is the load when you're squatting or when you're jumping can be placed more onto your knee rather than your actual quadricep muscle. It can take, and that way the knee just takes more stress than it can actually handle and ends up getting tendonitis. So that's a major one. Not only does it help with getting, you know, pulling any muscles, but it just helps with getting any joint injuries as well. So that's a major one. Next one is active recovery. Now this one's probably not so common, and it's not very fixed into people's routine. Some people might just do it without even thinking about it, but I sort of plan this into my routine. So active recovery, what I pretty much do is either some light walking. Sometimes if I'm doing it like a day before a dunk session, I'll do something more high intensity activity. So probably playing basketball, playing some pickup games, mimicking those same movements I would do in a dunk session. So what that does is it loosens your body again, but pretty much it makes it more mobile. So any stiffness you have in your joints or your muscles, it'll pretty much get rid of that, just because you're making your body move. You're making it move explosively, and it's going to get used to that. It's going to say, okay, I'm sort of getting used to this. I think, you know, I'll have to do this soon. So it'll be ready to do that and move explosively. Next one, knee rehab. Now, knee rehab is what directly strengthens the knee. So things like stretching and foam rolling, they can indirectly help just because they're loosening muscles, and active recovery, same thing. But knee rehab directly helps just because you're actually focusing on strengthening the patellar tendon. So this is done through exercises like single leg extensions, band assisted lockouts, resistance cycling, that's a major one. All those are what really help directly strengthen the knee, and I probably try to do this pretty much every day, sometimes even twice a day, just because you know, my knees are in a pretty bad state and I pretty much need to do this, otherwise I pretty much have no chance. So that's a major one. Even if you aren't feeling any knee pain, I would still recommend just to do some knee rehab. It'll keep your joints healthy, and you don't really have anything to lose by doing it. Now, number 4, icing. Now, icing helps because it can rid the inflammation and swelling in your knee caused by a previous workout or a previous dunk session. So if your knees, they might be strong, but they might just be a little bit bruised or a little bit swollen from jumping. Maybe you did a long dunk session. So what icing will do is help rid that, and that way you're able to just jump pain-free. So again, it doesn't really strengthen the knee, it just rids the inflammation. But when you pair that with this, it's good because this will help reduce the pain, and this will make sure that pain doesn't occur again. And then pretty much when you put all of these together, you're attacking your body from all different angles in terms of recovery. You've got something which loosens your muscles, you've got something which prepares it for intense activity, you've got something which is making sure that your joints and muscles are strong, as well as, you know, just general lifting as well will help with that. So that's pretty much it. They all play an important role, so if you're maybe only doing a couple of these things, I would recommend you try to fit all of them into your routine. I pretty much do stretching and foam rolling every second day, active recovery. I try to get some in every day. Knee rehab, like I said, every day. Icing every day, maybe sometimes every second day. But that's about it. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll take you through some deadlifts now. Peace! Thought I'd take you guys through some deadlifts which I did a few days ago. Still had this footage and realized I just haven't put in any vlogs. So to take you through this super quick. Now it's been a while since I've deadlifted, and it did feel a little bit rusty in terms of form and just strength, but not as bad as I thought. So still went pretty decent. I think I just did 3 sets of 5 for that session. Went pretty well, as you can see here, just doing the last warm-up for 80 kilos. Now when I'm doing my working sets or even just my warm-up sets, the things I'm trying to keep in my mind is to brace my core. Now I have a belt on, so it helps with that because I can sort of breathe against that belt and it lets me know that I'm keeping my core tight. So even if you don't have a belt, just make sure you're squeezing your core as much as possible, and making sure you're straightening your back before you lift the weight off the ground. So as you can see, my back kind of curves, but before I lift the weight, I sort of erect my spine and just make sure it's straight, making sure I'm flexing my quads, my glutes, my hamstrings, and really trying to thrust up as powerful as possible. I'm also trying to keep my head in a fairly neutral position, so it doesn't have to be exactly neutral, but as long as I'm not looking too much upwards or too much downwards, that's where I feel the most comfortability. From here I moved it up to 100 kilos for the last set, which felt not too bad. Speed was okay, looks a bit easier than it felt on camera, but in saying that, didn't feel too bad at all. So can't complain with the deadlifts, and then just finished off with some max vert touches. Don't know exactly how high this is. I'd probably say it's around 10 feet, maybe 10.1, but that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next vid. Peace.
This girl lying here to play like I'm sitting on the bench. Hey.